Good morning. Good morning. Happy Palm Sunday, everyone. Yeah, so everyone get a seat. We have an exciting day today. A few announcements to make, little celebrations, all sorts of great things. And of course, music and our service as usual. So I'm excited about today, and you'll see why in just a few minutes. But before we get started, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome anybody who's never been here before. So how many visitors do we have today? Newbies. Okay, so I'm going to start right here with you, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself.
My name is Mary Margaret, and I'm from Brevard.
Well, welcome. Great to have you here. Anyone else in that section? How about over here? In the back. Oh, of course. And you know what? I'm going to introduce you later. So we'll introduce Trish later. And of course, this lady right here in the front row.
I'm April Canova, and I live right here in East White Rock.
Well, welcome, April. Well, it's great to have everyone here. If you've never been here before, would you please fill out a welcome form so we can make sure that we have your name on file, and we'll make you a nifty new name tag. And how does everyone like the new magnetic name tags? So thank you, Barbara. Barbara so sweetly gifted us with those, so thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And of course, you would have thought it would have been an easy task to make those name tags, but nothing is never as easy as it seems sometimes. But finally, Denise and Dee cracked the code and got it done. So thank you, girls, for making that happen. Where are you? Where is Denise and Dee? Oh, you're in a different place, see? See, there you are. Yeah, changed up a little. So thank you all so much. Not only did Denise and Dee do this. Dee is like a whiz at the computer, and she's created a wonderful database for us. So we are getting organized, so thank you, Dee. Last night, we had I'm actually been running 2 ministerial groups right this time, and one of them was ordained last night. We had an informal ordination last night just to make it legal, because the second group will be joining in with them for a formal ordination on June 14th. So we do have some new ministers in our midst here today, and I'd like them to stand up. So come on, don't be shy. Yeah. So there you go. We have Reverend Julie, Reverend Mary, and Reverend Bill now. So this is a congregation of ministers, to say the least. And we've got, so I wanted to let you know, June 14th will be the ordination. It's a Sunday. It's a beautiful celebration. It's going to be at 1 o'clock. So mark your calendars. It's going to be at Kenmure in Flat Rock, and there's going to be a buffet lunch. And so we'll go after church, and so I'll have all the information about signing up for that in the near future. But in the meantime, keep that in mind, because it's really a beautiful experience. Listen to all those coughs. Yesterday in the early class, early ministerial class I had before the ordination, everybody was dealing with this except for one person. So go figure. But I guess it's a purification. That's the way I'm choosing to see it. This week, got lots of things going on. It's, of course, Easter week, Holy Week. And this Tuesday night, we are having our Namaste Soul Family Network gathering. It's going to be over at Lilies Garden. It starts at 5 o'clock, and it's going to be a potluck dinner, so you can bring a dish to share. The last one was really fun. We all had a chance to get to know each other better. So actually, Dottie's not here today, but she's created an opportunity, an exercise for us to connect at a deeper level. So this is just a way to build community, get to know each other outside the Sunday service. And I hope you can join us at 5 o'clock on Tuesday. And Heidi, I know are you still accepting folks in your group?
Yes, absolutely. On Tuesday from 1 until 4.
Okay, and that's the Science of Mind. What's the
Nature of effective prayer.
Nature of Effective Prayer. So you can talk to Heidi if you're interested in participating in that group. And of course, it's that it's the first of the month again, the first Wednesday. So Running Wolf will be offering her women's drumming circle on Wednesday. So it's really a rockin' place. It's over at, they create great energy. It's a wonderful experience. So if you want to know any more, Anne, raise your hand and they can talk to you about that later. Also, this weekend we have a great seminar coming up, and I know some of you guys had the opportunity to be at Trish Cameron's seminar last week at the center. And Trish is actually the one who I said, let me wait and introduce you. She is an Irish medicine woman, Celtic medicine woman. It was a beautiful sacred ceremony we had the other night. She had just gotten in the day before from Ireland. And I'd like you to come up, if you don't mind, and just let me introduce you, and you can tell us about what you intend to do. So this is Trish Cameron. Does she look like a medicine woman or what? So would you tell the group what you intend to do?
Well, first of all, Díomh agus Gurmayogat. Hello and thank you. And as Charles saying, I'm from Ireland, and I'm just so touched that you've welcomed me so warmly into your community. It really touches my heart just to be received here. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for your openness and your willingness. Yes, so as Charles is saying, Easter time, and my intention for being here on your beautiful land is to bring blessing from Ireland, from our emerald heart and from the spirit and the magic of the land there, and to bring it over to you here as an offering, as a blessing. And if you're so called at some time to bring your blessing over to Ireland and to come with me around her sacred sites and bring all that you have in your spirit and soul and heart, so that both our lands are enriched. But next weekend, as of course it's Easter, and from my understanding, in Ireland it's mostly aligned with the festival of Baltana. Baltana is the May celebration, and on Baltana Eve, in the old times, all the fires would be extinguished around the land. And then on the dawn of Baltana, on the hill of Ishnach, which is right on the energetic centre of Ireland, the first fire would be rekindled, and it would be seen on the hill of Tara, and that fire would be kindled, and then all the subsequent fires around the land would be relit. And from that, the people would come and take their fire to relight their hearth fires. So, Easter falls in the old Celtic calendar between the equinox, which we've just had, equal day and equal night, and Baltana. But the story goes that as the country became Christianized, that St. Patrick tricked the Druids, and he lit his fire first at Easter time. So whatever the story is, around that time is the time of going into the darkness again, into when the fires are extinguished, to then revive, rejuvenate, come with more life and re-engage and rededicate ourselves to life. So this weekend, what I will do is the Celts play a lot with shadow and with light. So Good Friday, Easter Saturday, it's a time of becoming comfortable in the shadow. And in the shadow, what stories that we have are what once acknowledged inside of us to release and transmute, so that as we greet Easter Sunday, that we come with more life and more possibility and more hope for the future as the fire is rekindled. So that's what I intend to do, is play with the shadow and the light, because they're not separate, they're all the one. And so we just turn the shadows so more light can be revealed. And the intention is to weave in as much as possible with Charlotte, because Charlotte will be celebrating Easter next Sunday with you, and the hope was, as I do the Friday and Saturday, that will be a great preparation for the whole embrace of just life as it grows and as it celebrates and flourishes into the summertime. So,
Thank you.
I just forgot to say that we have a little gathering this afternoon in Anne-Marie's, and there's a few places left if anyone would like to come and maybe talk to Anne.
Oh, good. So Anne-Marie is also from Ireland, but she lives here now. And she's actually hosting her friend here. So you can see Anne-Marie. Thank you for bringing this to us, Anne-Marie.
They didn't
Beautiful.
mention the tours that they're going to be doing.
Yeah, they're going to be, yeah.
They're going to be conducting tours to Ireland. Anne-Marie should
Yeah.
say something about that.
Yeah, so we'll get to that. I've got a lot of announcements. So
Okay.
it's, but yes, indeed, there's an opportunity to go to Ireland with these two wonderful ladies. Okay, so got a few, lots of things, great things are happening here at the Namaste Center. And one of the great things is that we're getting organized with the volunteers and the committees, and it's actually really happening. So I'm really grateful. And Dottie Stewart is in Atlanta this weekend, but she's done a terrific job of getting us all sort of on track. And we hit a few bumps in the road, and I said, is it always this disorganized? She goes, always in the beginning. So it's, but now I'm seeing it all just really take hold, and it's fantastic, and I'm grateful. And so just want to acknowledge a few people who have stepped up in a great big way. Of course, the gals who did the database, Linda, I know you were a big help to them. They said they couldn't have done it without you, so thank you so much for helping with that. And of course, Linda also is in charge of the afternoon cleanup after the service. And she needs some support on this. She's got a few dates where she needs some backup. So please talk to Linda after the service, or look at the dates and see if you're available to stay a little later and just help. It doesn't take that long, and just another way to get to know each other better. We also have a new board member I'd like to introduce, and I couldn't be happier because this woman has brought so much love and light to our center. So Mary Fakay, welcome. We are really excited that you accepted. And Mary's also captain and team leader of the Prayer and Healing Ministry team, which now, if you have a request for prayer, we have an email set up. It's going to be in the newsletter tonight too. Namaste Prayer Ministry at gmail.com. So we'll be able to get it organized and put them in the newsletter and get people praying for you, offering healing. So it's really a wonderful thing. And of course, Mary was a bit overwhelmed by the whole, and it's a big duty because it's a large committee and there's a lot to it. So Julie so kindly offered to be her backup and assistant. So thanks, Julie. I don't know if she offered as much as she was forced, but either way, thank you. It worked. We got you. And Kelly, there's Kelly. And Kelly is creating a yard sale, which you'll see the flyers on your seat. And she's stepped up to not only for this committee, special events, but other committees as well, which we'll get into a little later. But please take note, this is a big fundraiser for us in May. Kelly is in charge of this. Is there something you'd like to say?
Just, we need your stuff. So please, as long as you're doing your spring cleaning, just, drop it off at the Namaste Center through the month of April on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4 to 6 p.m.
Does that mean at Lilies?
At Leela's Garden, yes, thanks. So anything you have, household goods or anything, clothing, anything that could be saleable in a yard sale, we'll take it all, and we'll be seeking out volunteers for that day as well. But right now we're collecting goods. So thank you, Kelly, for doing that. I appreciate it. And of course, one more before we get into the next thing. I cannot acknowledge and thank you enough, Cindy. You are tried and true, and you've been so loyal on Sundays. We love you. You are appreciated. And that little woman carries this thing, shimmies this thing out every Sunday. When I walked in the first time, I'm like, how'd that get there? She goes, I put it there. I'm like, oh my God. So, mighty. Okay, now, as you know, Susan Warner and Claire, who couldn't be here today, she is driving Madeline Kay to the airport in Charlotte. Her cousin passed away? Yeah. A friend or relative, a good, anyway, Claire's being a good Samaritan today and driving Madeline to Charlotte. So Susan and Claire, but Susan is here today. She has really she served on our board since the board's conception. She's been an awesome board member. She's also been a great leader for our prosperity here at the center, not only by example, but by leading these classes. And so I can't say thank you enough. And I know you have a little special event you would like to offer right now. And this afternoon, after the service, please stay, because we have cake. Suzette made a cake. Susan brought a cake. We're going to celebrate the new ministers, the prosperity graduates, and the March birthdays who are. Raise your hand. Well, oh my gosh. Well, happy birthday, guys. Yay. We need to celebrate you guys after the service, so stay for cake, okay? And Susan, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Claire and I are so proud of our graduates, and not just these graduates, but all the old ones too. Could I have the former graduates please stand at this time? Let's honor you. I just want to say this bud's for you, okay, too. And I didn't really have it together well enough way back when to do a nice celebration like I'm doing today. I don't want you to feel left out, and I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you because you have continued in the path and in the teaching. And Claire and I can speak for her, we've talked about you behind your back in a positive way. We have seen every single graduate just bloom, just blossom, just glow and come alive with spirit and with the joy that, let's face it, folks, prosperity can bring into your life. And also the spiritual aspect of becoming a partner with the great Creator. So without further ado, I would like to call in alphabetical order, April Kennard.
Stay up here because I got a team picture.
Michael C. Cornett.
Yay, Michael.
Joy Rizzo. Joy has also stepped up too with a desire to do these classes. classes to facilitate the prosperity classes.
Yay!
Taylor Smith. And Iris Whittington.
Yay!
I would like to, by way of brief commencement, say a little something to my graduates. You've all done amazingly. Some of you have had great big, shocking, surprising, incredible things to share with the group in the way of improvements in your life. We do this thing at the beginning of every group called sharing our wins. And this just thrills Claire's and my hearts so much to hear the little and the big wins, because we must always remember to honor the little wins, because they will pile up and pile up and pile up, and that will raise your energy level to where you are winning big. And some of you have, and some of you are still in the smaller wins. Honor those wins and stay with this. This is not a one-shot deal, as you well know and we have discussed. Keep on being partners with Spirit. Keep on tithing. Keep on believing. Keep on living from your prosperity. Keep living from that person that you know you were always meant to be. Because in truth, time is not linear, and you already are that prosperous, joyful, happy, blessed, blessing person. You already are those persons of increase. So just keep at it. Keep coming from that person you wish to be. As beginning tithers, I also have a little something I'd like to share with you. It is best, I have found in my personal experience, and you know that I do have personal experience with this, it is best for a beginning tither to tithe to the church or center or group where you are spiritually fed. At first, we've talked in our class about tithing to individuals when it is a matter of increasing the goodness in the world. As beginning tithers, it is a very good idea for a time to tithe to the place, wherever it is that you receive your spiritual food. If you get readings in the mail, magazines from a church or a center, and that is where you get your spiritual food, tithe to that center. If you come to the Namaste Center and this is where you're fed, tithe to the Namaste Center for a period of time, because it is a new thing for all of us when we first begin to steadily tithe. And it's like anything else, you get better and better at it, and you get more and more open to Spirit, and you will absolutely know after a period of tithing in this manner, your heart will absolutely know beyond shadow of a doubt where, when tithing to an individual, is indeed increasing the good in the world, because it isn't always. When we give, sometimes when we give to lack, we only create more lack. But this is wisdom gained from time and experience with tithing. And I just want to congratulate you all and say thank you so much for hanging in there with me. All this that she loves you, as do I, and she's proud of you too. And Claire's not here because she's out walking her dog. She is taking a friend in dire need to the airport, and I just want to make that abundantly clear to everybody that that is exactly what she's doing right now, and we're so proud of her. And Claire, we love you.
Yes, we do. Yay, Claire. Susan, get up there with your group, and I want to get a picture. Oh, okay. Got to have all these pictures here. Got it. Okay, get in there, right in the middle. Okay. Move in closer, Michael. They won't bite. Okay. All that woman power. Okay, 1, 2, 3, prosperity. Okay, let me get one with this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, prosperity. Got it. Thank you. Now, got it?
Yeah.
Okay, so Susan, I want, you all can be seated now, except for Susan. Yay! So, Susan, as you know, as I've mentioned many times, has been a very powerful force for our center for good and prosperity and just commitment. And she is an ADL minister. She was through my class not too long ago. And a few weeks ago, she let me know that Spirit was calling her to start her own ministry. And we talked. I knew it was coming. I knew that's what you wanted to do. And so I was like, awesome, go for it. So she's going to be actually starting a church from her home in Green Creek. And I'll let you tell them the details in just a minute. But anyway, she's agreed to stay on the board here at the Namaste Center, continue to work with the prosperity programs here. I'm going to be serving on her board, and
Ellen too.
And Ellen
I asked
too.
Ellen just
There
this
you
morning.
go. And Ellen. So this is what it's all about: is being able to really help people manifest their dreams and know that there's enough for everybody. And you're such a great example of that. I'm so grateful. I spoke to the board. They're thrilled for you, so much so that we want to give you a gift to seed your ministry from our center. And so
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're prospering.
I hope somebody's got a tissue, because I might do one. I was really nervous to let Charlotte know that I was, bottom line, not going to be coming to the Namaste Center anymore, because I'd be starting a church. But I really knew in my heart that she'd be totally happy for me and she would support me, because, you know, it's always been Charlotte's dream to support people. That's what she does. That's what this center is about. She gives people a platform for what they believe in and what they have to share. And if it wasn't for Charlotte, there's no way in the world, this is ironic, if it wasn't for Charlotte, I wouldn't be leaving the Namaste Center.
some people have left for other reasons, but we won't go there.
Yeah. It's very ironic. I would have had absolutely no idea that I would ever have wanted to start a church. When I was ordained, all 3 times I've been ordained, I've always said, oh God, I never want to start a church. I've told you that 100 times, and I always thought that I never would. And then one morning I was getting ready for church, and it hit me, you know, I'm going to start a church. And it was almost frightening. But if it wasn't for Charlotte and the center, I would never have found this. Because I was doing the Prosperity Plus, which Charlotte asked me to lead. And we had to determine what it was that was our heart's desire, because, you know, I mean, you give Spirit a little something to work with, you know, we had to decide what it is we truly want. And from the very first time I spoke about spiritual matters was in the Namaste Center, way back, and from that very first time I found my love in life and my deepest heart's desire, because I found that I never, ever, ever feel more alive than when I am speaking about matters of the Spirit, because it matters. The Spirit truly, truly matters. My church is going to be called the Christ Spirit Church. And I would, just to let you know a little tiny bit about it, I'd like to read you my mission statement, which I wrote this morning. But it was working, you know, it was working its way. The mission of the Christ Spirit Church. It is the sacred mission of the Christ Spirit Church to explore the teachings of Jesus the Christ from a personal and intuitive perspective, so that together we may each find a greater awareness of the Christ Spirit that dwells within and be empowered to establish heaven on earth in each moment of life. Charlotte talked about Yogananda not too long ago. it's a subject that's dear to my heart. I love Yogananda, and she said that Yogananda, which I did not know till then, was a big fan of Jesus, and she said that she also is a big fan of Jesus. And interestingly, the Quiero people of Peru are also big fans of Jesus and of the Blessed Mother Mary. Now, this is odd because much like my Native American side of the family, the Quiero people have very little reason to love Jesus or Mary because the conquistadors came and took away everything they had. Everything. But the Quiero people were blessed to go into the sacred mountains, the sacred Apus, where they hid for a century. And they only came down back in the 40s or 50s. In recent times, they came down to the villages and let people know that these Quiero people that everybody thought were completely extincted were not. And in fact, that they were still there with all their methods, all their sacred medicine, all of their culture completely intact. And so I say to you, if you believe in Jesus, if you believe in the great Blessed Mother Mary, if you believe in these two, as do I, you're in good company. And again, I just want to thank you, Charlotte. I want to thank you to the board. This is just, I'm blown away. I'm truly
We
blown
love you,
away.
and we're so grateful that you've been with us. And you're still with us.
I am still with you, absolutely.
Thanks.
And
Okay, so see, we have lots of blessings to share today, all part of the Easter spring renewal. Life is great. And I'm going to turn it over to Terry. And then I'm going to give my talk and do the meditation at the end. And Ed, are you available to help me with the meditation later? Very cool. I love it, Terry.
Morning.
Terry.
I was falling asleep. Just kidding. Congratulations, Susan. Shall we sing the light of God?
Yes.
For all those newcomers today, I always say this, but the newcomers, we sing the first verse through and then we expect you to know it perfectly. So, I'm not joking. Yeah. Anybody who says that I'm joking will have to come and sing a solo. And it goes like this. If you clap, please clap on tempo. And if you cough, please cough on tempo. Oh, the light of God is in me, and it shines right out my eyes, making me a part of everything in the earth and sea and sky. And it makes me feel so happy, just to know I'm not alone. 'Cause when you're a part of everything, everywhere is your home. Second verse. There's a light that shines within you, and it's with you every day, bringing love to everybody in the things you do and say. It's the reason that you're living. It's the force that drives you on. It's the stars up in the heaven. It's your morning sun. Okay, next verse, same as the first, only 3 times as loud. Are we ready? Are we ready? All right. 1, 2, 3. Oh, the light part of everything in the earth and sea and sky. And it makes me feel so happy just to know I'm not alone. 'Cause when you're a part of everything, everywhere is your home. Everywhere is your home. All right, very good. So as usual, I never know what I'm going to sing when I come here. And Charlotte at the were we at the ordination last night? Yeah, we were there last night, and she told me it was Palm Sunday today. I didn't know that. And so I had no idea what to sing for Palm Sunday, and I still don't.
That's why we love you, Terry.
That's right. So I'm going to sing this one. This is my version of the Peace Prayer by Francis of Assisi. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. And where there is doubting, let me bring your faith. And Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is despairing, let me bring your hope. Where there is darkness, your light. Where there is sadness, let me bring your joy. O divine Master, grant that I might see, not so much to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, not so much to be loved as to love another. For it is in giving that we now receive. It is in pardoning that we are now pardoned. And it is in dying that we are now born again. And Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring your love.
Beautiful. And that song holds a great message all within itself. Love it. One of my favorite prayers. Okay, Palm Sunday. What do they call it? The Super Bowl of spirituality, right? This Holy Week. And, oh, thanks for reminding me. I made a mistake. Okay, so anyway, it's a great story. This week leading up to next Sunday, of course, we know what that is, Easter. And all the events leading up to this are amazing. And of course, we're going to focus today on our brother Jesus and his life and what it stood for and where it was misunderstood and so on and so forth, to really understand that his message was for us to live more like him and to be more like him. He came to us as our elder brother, our teacher, our friend, and he wanted us to know that we could do everything he did and greater things. Yet somewhere along the line, we've forgotten that. We've put Jesus outside of our realm of possibility. In the Course in Miracles, Jesus says, many are chosen, but few choose to listen. So really, we all have that potential, that Spirit of God, that light of God within us, but most of us don't tend to it as much as Jesus did. That was Jesus' full focus, and along with other spiritual masters, they took time to develop their relationship with God. They put that first and foremost in their life, where we tend to, get distracted. Oh, I think that looks appealing. I'm going to chase that for a while, and that for a while, and that for a while. And that's okay, because it's fun to manifest, and it's okay to want things and have things, and that's all fine and dandy. But I think after a while we manifest and we get what we think we want, and we realize that's not doing it for us. And then our prayer becomes pretty simple. What is my Father's will for me? And just to be open to that. And know that God's will, which is the love within us, the power within us, is far greater than anything this world has to offer. And so, Friday night on movie night, we watched Jesus Christ Superstar. I love that movie. Who's seen it? I know some of you guys were here Friday night. It's a wonderful, it's actually very historically accurate, I would have to say. And the music is wonderful, and it's very moving. There were a couple of parts in that still get me every time. And of course, it starts out with Jesus' triumphant ride on the donkey into Jerusalem. And, you can just, and of course, the depiction in the movie is so beautiful because it's filmed, on site or very close to it. And you see all the palm branches and the donkey, and of course, he's a beautiful person. Ted Neely actually played this role. And one thing that I find fascinating, this film was made in 1973, and just 3 years ago, which was about 40 years after the movie, Ted Neely was still on tour playing the role of Jesus, and we saw him in Greenville, and his voice was strong. He looked exactly the same. So he had to be close to 70 at that time, and still able to just be wonderful. But so he comes in, and everyone's like, "Yay, rock star Jesus!" It was awesome, and he was very humbly riding on the donkey into Jerusalem, and in his mind, he knew exactly the series of events, what this was leading up to. Now, none of the people with him, his disciples, his followers, they didn't have a clue. They were just like, riding the train here, feeling good. But he knew what was coming. And so it's basically, I want to just share a few highlights of what this week really means and his journey into Easter. And it said the crowd had been so impressed with his wonders that he had worked with his sermons and his healing and everything he had done, that they were celebrating him as their savior from the Roman oppressors and the founder of a new state. And it says that of course, they cut down palm branches to honor him and pave the road with those, and also lauding him as their new leader. It goes on to say that he did accept this praise and this tribute, but he didn't accept the role that crowd had put upon him. And he had not come to remove the Roman yoke. He hadn't come to set up a new kingdom. He'd come to offer a message of hope and love. He came to just be that presence of love. It was not about taking over. But I think as we're seeing now, when we look at someone who's really spiritually tuned in, which we have many of you guys here, all of you guys here, it's not, we don't seem to fit in the world or find a place in the world like we used to anymore. It's kind of like the things of the world aren't so interesting and appealing as they used to be, because we know that there's a kingdom beyond this world. And that was really his message, was to inspire these people to live from that premise. Of course, they land in Jerusalem, and in the movie, which is also, we hear about the money changers. And what do? They start looking outside, all these idols, and setting up the stands and all of the external things they were chasing. And there was dancing, and there was who knows what else going on at the time. Well, and selling a lot of goods in exchange of money and so on and so forth. Well, when he saw that, here's all of the crew that came in to follow him, and he was like, this is not what it's about. And I still, to this day, I haven't reconciled in my mind exactly, did he, in the movie, and of course many portrayals of this incident, when he went in so angrily and just flipped the tables and broke down everything and was very firm and upset and angry. I still, in my mind, is that really what happened? Of course, we really don't know. Or, what would have, or did he go in with love? I don't know. But that is love. That's something that I had in my mind this morning when I was thinking about that. I said, but that was an expression of love, because it was to get their attention, to shift them from all of the external to really the more meaningful relationship with spirit and truth. So, as the week progresses, of course, the Romans were very fearful of him. And, here's this gentle spirit, and he's got all of the people, the Romans, scared to death of him. And they want him dead so much. They're so afraid of him. And, he has no guns. He has no reason, nothing but innocence. And he's just there open-hearted, yet he's so scared. And I think it goes back to our light is so much more powerful than anything we can bring to the world. The power of love can just melt away all the darkness. And at some level, they were feeling that and knew that, and they felt threatened. It's in that's where our true power lies. We think we have to arm ourselves with militaries and fighting and defense and attack and strategery and all of these things, but that's not the case at all. It's just standing in that presence of love and oneness with spirit. And I believe that we're experiencing this culturally right now. We're seeing so many expressions of war around us, and feeling that we need to fight, we need to defend, we need to attack. And I don't believe that that's anything that Jesus would have taught any of us. It was about being the stillness, being the presence of love in the midst of all that seems to be going around. Love your enemy. Where did we pray for your enemies? Where did we forget about that? Not kill them and make a war plan to annihilate them. It's about loving our enemies. We're moving into, just glancing this morning or last night, we're on the brink of World War III. And there are people who think that. And of course, it's just getting people amped up to go fight, and we got to defend, and this is a holy war. You know, oxymoron, holy war, I mean, for crying out loud. What is that about? Where in the 10 Commandments, if you're a follower of the 10 Commandments, did we forget thou shalt not kill? But yet if we justify that somehow, some way. But the more and more I tune into my true nature, my spiritual nature, I can't justify that in my mind anymore in any status whatsoever. We have to rise above that. And Jesus, I think his greatest disappointment was, of course he was above disappointment, was that that he had been teaching this great message, and yet it still hadn't been received in the way that he had hoped it would be. So I believe that it's just a metaphor for our life today. Is what are we really choosing to live? How are we choosing to live? What voice, what inner teacher am I choosing to live by? The ego, which is just wanting nothing more than to keep me distracted and separate and into this defense and attack mode, or spirit, which finds a way to unify and heal. It's a choice moment by moment we make. It's about blessing the entire world. Forgiveness. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they've done. What a beautiful statement. Yet again, it's not one that we tend to, or it's said lightly, but it's not really internalized. Rather than feeling like we need to attack or defend in the state of the world today, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. They're just a product of their programming. I'm not saying I like to see people be hurt, and that there are crazy things going on, no doubt. But it's kind of like, how many times do we have to repeat this cycle? It's been going on for thousands and thousands of years, and it hadn't worked. So it's really about a new paradigm. And the message of Easter is just a reminder, you know, we move into this Holy Week, and we're choosing to do it differently this time. And although we may seem small in numbers, it only takes one, you know, just one truly, you know, look at Jesus, look at the power and the influence that he had on the world. And each and every one of you holds that potential. Every single person in this room, every person on the planet. It's just about if we tune into it. So it's really about saying, you know, I always talk about those little bracelets back 20, 30 years ago. What WWJD, what would Jesus do? Well, that's just a great little reminder, you know, what would Jesus do in this situation? He would love, he would forgive. And of course, since I am a brother, a sister of Jesus, then I choose to live by that and follow that to the best of my ability. And if you stumble and you make a mistake and you get angry and kick and scream a little bit, just take a breath, choose again, start over. I recommit, just recommit to every moment. It's up to us to do it though. So there is a ton of potential and possibility, and our world is calling out for it right now for us, truly. And a little summary of this week that it says, again, Jesus rode into Jerusalem. This is a summary of the week. He rode into Jerusalem on an ass. He knew he was going to die on Friday. He didn't flinch. He didn't turn back. Jesus Christ knew that he was eternal, and he knew he was forever in the loving embrace of his divine origin. He surrendered his doubts and his fears to his Father. Those who would kill him had no idea their plans would backfire. Paraphrasing Ralph Waldo Emerson, what we are speaks so loudly, sometimes it's hard to hear us. So who we are speaks louder than any words, and that's what Jesus demonstrated. He lived a life powered by love, by forgiveness, and we all have that power that dwells within us. And so it's about us being the change. You know, we talk about it, we know the story, it's a great story, but again, the message that we get, it's kind of like, yeah, it's a great story, and then we go on with our life. And now I believe we're seeking that deeper connection with Spirit, with Source, with love, and living from that. And I want to actually share with you the Course in Miracles. I can't ever go through Holy Week without sharing this because it's beautiful. And it says, this week we celebrate eternal life, not death. And we honor the perfect purity of the Son of God and not his sins. Offer each other the gift of lilies, not the crown of thorns. The gift of love and not the gift of fear. You stand beside each other, thorns in one hand and lilies in the other, uncertain which to give. Join now with me and throw away the thorns, offering the lilies to replace them. This Easter, I would have the gift of your forgiveness offered by you to me and returned by me to you. We cannot be united in crucifixion and in death, nor can the resurrection be complete till your forgiveness rests on Christ along with mine. A week is short, and yet this Holy Week is the symbol of the whole journey the Son of God has undertaken. He started with the sign of victory, the promise of resurrection already given him. Let him not wander into the temptation of crucifixion and delay him there. Help him go in peace beyond it, with the lights of his own innocence shining him on his way to resurrection. Easter is not the celebration of the cost of sin, but its end. If you see glimpses of the face of Christ behind the veil, looking between the snow-white petals of the lilies you have received and given as your gift, you will behold each other's face and recognize it. I was a stranger, and you took me in, not knowing who I was. But for your gift of lilies, you will know, and your forgiveness of this stranger, alien to you, yet your ancient friend. This time of Easter is a time of joy and not of mourning. Look on your friend risen and celebrate his holiness along with me. For Easter is the time of your salvation along with mine. And that, of course, is our brother Jesus speaking to us. And it's a reminder. And as we go into the meditation, I'm going to use the image of the thorns and the lilies. And we're going to do some deep healing and forgiveness and really take this week to heart. So, Ed, if you don't mind, thank you for... While he's getting that, did anyone leave their glasses here last week?
Yes, I did.
Oh, thank you. I needed some. Yeah. Namaste to you. Oh, thank you. Oh, that's cold. Okay, so get comfortable in your chairs and close your eyes and take a couple of nice, deep, cleansing breaths. Just take in for a moment the willingness to be reborn in this moment, to once and for all lay down your thorns and offer the gift of lilies to anyone you feel may have harmed you in the past. Take a moment and bring into your mind's eye any individual
or individuals that you may still be holding on to a resentment, anger, any thought that keeps you in judgment. And now, join eye to eye with this brother, with this sister. Look deeply into their eyes. Open your heart. As you embrace in love, offer your brother, your sister, the gift of lilies. Say to them, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, and I love you. Continue to gaze with love upon your brother, your sister, and say, you are holy, you are divine, you are perfect love. Now allow yourself to give a warm, heartfelt hug. And know that the holiest place on earth is where an ancient hatred has become a present love. And as we move in to this holiday season, which represents the overcoming of our world through forgiveness. this planet, we see the beauty, the oneness in all things. And take this blessing not only for our world, but for yourself. For all forgiveness is self-forgiveness in truth. Holy Spirit, Mother, Father, God, may your will be done. May we overcome the need for war, conflict, suffering. May we be that presence in this world. We pray that all ancient hatreds be relieved in this moment. And now we envision a world where we hold our brother's hand. Every brother, every sister. And we feel and know our oneness. And we co-create a home where peace and love prevail. So it is. Okay. We will bless our offerings at this time if you would like to place them over your heart. And give thanks for our center and all of the wonderful souls who come here. We ask that these gifts be blessed and used for the highest and holiest of purposes, so that we may continue to heal and be healed and share our love in all we do. And so it is. Amen.
you know, I think it must be the cold weather that made this guitar go out of tune in the last song. My guitar's always been in tune.
It's always been the tune, right? It's never out of tune, yes.
Let's sing this one. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us on the sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no country. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. No religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Hope someday you will join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine no possession. Wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. Brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Hope someday you will join us, and the world will live as one. Hope someday you will join us, and the world will live as one.
Well, I hope everybody has a blessed week. We're so blessed, aren't we? We really are. And let's just open our hearts and live the message. And let's join hands, and we will close with our peace song. Here, grab a hand. There you go. Does everyone have a hand? Okay, let's just close our eyes and give thanks for this day and each other, and know that peace and love prevail on earth, and so it is. Let there be peace on earth.